Hello, everybody. I'm Stephanie D. Sanders, and welcome back to the show. This is Brick and Mortar, the mainstream edition. And just like I promised you, we are here in Lakeland, Florida, in the downtown area. And I wanted to have our first guest come on from right here in my hometown. And that person is Kate Lake. She is the owner of My Office and More. She's here to tell us a little bit more about her business, how you can get in contact with her, come down, work your business. She'll give you all that information. Welcome to the show, Kate.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. This is great.
Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate being able to come in here and do this interview with you today. So first things first, let's just start from the beginning. Who is Kate? Who is Kate?
Who is Kate?
Yes.
Kate is a very complex person.
She doesn't seem like it.
Because I'm a female, so I get to be complex.
Okay. We are sometimes, but not all the time. But no, we're business women. So yes, we may be a little complicated, but this is what we do. We have to kind of stay on point with what we do as business women. Miss Kate, were you born here in Lakeland?
I am actually a native of Wilmington, Delaware, the first state.
Okay, so she's from Delaware. How in the world did you get all the way down here to Lakeland, Florida, of all places?
There was a period of time that the big dream that I had was to work for Disney. So I decided to stop everything I was doing at the time. I had had a lot of different kind of careers at that point, and I just sold my house, moved me and my dog down to Orlando, and managed to get a job starting over as a secretary in the Disney Corporation at Walt Disney World. It was the most wonderful thing. And eventually I got a job as the assistant to the president of Disney Cruise Line.
Oh, wow.
And that was a phenomenal experience because I was able to experience what a billion-dollar corporation looks like getting started off the ground.
Okay, now you were a part of the cruise line. Did you get to go on a lot of the cruises?
My job, I ended up leaving right before they were coming online. So I saw all the beginnings. I did go afterwards, after I was a cast member. And the Disney experience, it can't be equaled. It is the best and always has been the best. That's when I want to go on vacation, it's one of the places I love to go.
Wow. I think we have been to Disney so many times as children. Growing up. We went a couple of times after we became adults, but we went quite a lot when we were younger. And then talking about being young, who was Kate when you were growing up? What type of person was Kate growing up?
Well, I had a lot of health issues when I was growing up, so I spent a lot of time indoors, and I got very attached to watching the TV. I was very good at telling you about the I Love Lucy episodes in General Hospital.
General Hospital? Okay.
Back in the day.
I'm watching General Hospital. Okay. All right.
But I also figured out if I wanted to have some extra money that, and I love popcorn, I could get Mom and Dad to let me have the popcorn maker and make popcorn when I wanted if I was going to go sell it. I think I ate more than I sold.
Right.
But right in front of I remember doing that all the time in front of the house. I would pull out the popcorn maker and I'd make some lemonade. And that was my entrepreneurial beginnings.
See? Oh, I thought it was probably something in there. Well, we'll talk about that in just a moment. So who is Kate today?
The person I have become after becoming a business owner is so different than the lives I've had beforehand. I'm basically an introvert and have always kept to myself because mostly kind of an accounting type of person, secretarial, administrative. I've been in sales, but being a business owner in a wonderful town like Lakeland where you can connect with other people easily, that changed me because now my world is huge. I am able to interact with all levels of companies in our local government and small businesses all around the area. So today my world is totally full. I actually live in downtown Lakeland as well as work here.
Okay.
So Lakeland is my hood.
Right? She is in the neighborhood, literally in the in the downtown hood. Okay. All right. So I see some of the business aspects were coming out from youth, from your youthful days, but also, did you ever have someone that you could refer to back in the day, even if you weren't ready yet to be a business owner? But was there anyone in your life, in your family, who was a business owner that you may have looked up to back in the day when you were a kid?
I never really thought about owning my own business per se. I thought about it would be fun to own some businesses, and I had some wild ideas about it. But when I started thinking about it, I realized that I did have a time where my dear friend in high school, her family had owned a restaurant for a while. So I got to be able to see what that was like a little bit. And so I did have exposures that I've taken for granted. I didn't, only until you started getting me to think about it, did I realize, I think I have a lot of influences that I've taken for granted over the years.
Now, starting a business can be a little scary. And then during your journey to open up My Office and More, did you have any substantial issues that you kind of had to overcome in order to get the business started? What was that experience like for you getting your business started?
I think everybody runs into tough issues and tough problems along the way. And I was never really sure I was going to come up with all the money I needed to be able to buy a building and to start this business. It all came together. And I think there was a point, I didn't think it consciously, but I just thought it was build it and they will come.
Right.
It doesn't work like that.
Whoa.
It doesn't work like that.
Eye opener, right?
Yeah, because once you exhaust your immediate circle of friends, the people that you know, that's never going to be
substantial enough.
Substantial enough to keep a business growing for the long term. You have to start working with people you don't know, and that means you have to reach people you don't know. So it's a different mindset. And in my second year, I had a number of things happen all at the same time where I was like, I was sure this is what I was supposed to do.
Right.
But I'm an accountant and I can tell I'm going to run out of money in my second year. And I was very, very fortunate to have a sales coach.
Oh, good.
And he worked with me and held me accountable, and he listened to my woes and then said, okay, Kate, so what are you going to do about it? And he got me focused again on just doing hard things like making cold calls and reaching out to people. And I had to change some of my behaviors. But it was through those tough times that I was able to grow and build the muscles that I needed to have the strength to keep going for the long term. And on Monday, the business turns 5 years old.
5 years old already. Because I met Miss Kate 2 years ago. I came here to participate in a women's event, and I had my books and CD and sang and spoke and everything. And then when I was actually looking for a place to do the show, I was looking for another business actually here in the area, and the picture came up on the website, and it was like right next door. I was like, I remember that spot. I was there doing an event, and then I came in and I was like, oh my goodness. I really loved it. I love the colors and everything. So there's a lot that goes into the business aspect of things. Now, was that something that you actually did the majority of that, from the planning of the way things look to the marketing plan? Did you have your hand in all of that, or did you kind of release some of that to other people to do for you?
At the end of the day, when you have a business, it all falls on you to put it together. And my business plan was 75 pages long.
Whoa.
But there is no way I had enough information or skill or ability to do everything. So the team of people that came around me to help me create this, architects, designers, the furniture people, the young lady that helped us figure out colors, figure out the right furniture for our budget. She made all the difference in the world. She helped make this the ideal location where it's comfortable but professional. I wanted it to be upbeat and encouraging when you walked in, so you felt like you could get something done.
Yes.
Sometimes I get a fresh piece of paper, a fresh notebook, and it's like, okay, I'm motivated. I'm going to sit down and do what I need to do.
Right.
I wanted the space to give you that same feel when you came in. But I also wanted it to be a place where when somebody got an office here, they were so proud to be here. They wanted to show their friends and family and say, hey, this is where I work.
Yes, yes. Well, this is where I run my business from, outside of your regular job, because we do have regular jobs at times, and then we're working on other things along the way. But I can tell you, when I walked in here, we'll talk about that in the second half, but when I walked in here, I was very inspired. Just simply from the way it looked. It had a very cozy feel to it, but very inspiring, very bold colors. It just really brought your spirits up and just really made me want to work. But we'll talk about that in just a moment, about my office. Right back.
Getting a group of people together in the same space, talking about a problem, all of a sudden you put more than one mind to something brand new shows up. More angles of thought into one problem creates something brand new that nobody ever thought of before. I'm Kate Lake. I'm the Chief Connections Officer at My Office and More in downtown Lakeland. Home-based businesses are wonderful because you can save all your overhead, but they're terrible for establishing presence and being seen in the community as a serious business. A virtual office enables somebody to have an address at a business building here on Main Street in downtown Lakeland. They get their name on a directory. As soon as you walk in the door, it gives them that presence. So if they need to meet with a customer or a vendor, they can say, I'm going to be in my office on Friday. How about if I meet you then?
Hello, everybody. I am Stephanie D. Sanders, and welcome back to the show. This is Brick and Mortar, the mainstream edition. And before the break, we were here with our guest, Kate Lake, and she is the owner of My Office and More in downtown Lakeland. She's here on the show, the very first show, actually, of Brick and Mortar, the mainstream edition, where we take time to get to know our small businesses, promote them, encourage, motivate them, as well as other people who have small businesses or who are looking to do so. So we're back with Kate here, and we were talking right before the break a little bit about the experience that I had when I came in to actually meet with her and see the facilities and so forth. And I tell you, when I came in, it really just blew me away at first, just the colors. And I'll tell you why. The colors were my three favorite colors. All three of them, red, white, and black. Together, oh my gosh, I was sold, you know. If it had nothing else to do about the business, I was sold with the colors. They were so vibrant and bold. It just made you feel good. And then when I met Kate, but before I met Kate, there was a lady that was here working. Actually, and she came by when I came in, and I sat down, and she was so nice. She stopped and she took a moment and she was talking to me briefly, and then she went on down the way to her office, and I was like, I'm gonna have one of these offices here. I'm gonna look out that window just like her, you know, and run my production company from a space just like this. It was just a wonderful, inviting experience. And then Kate came, and that just made it all the more even better. But I guess that goes along with her name, the company name, My Office and More. So we're here talking to her once again. And I wanted to say, you know how people say, what's your why? Kate, tell us, what is your why when it comes to doing this business? Why did you decide to do this business, this type of business?
Many years ago, I was in sales, and I worked in a shared office facility. And while I did sales, that's not my passion. I love administration. So when I walked into the space, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. The secretaries get to work with all these companies. Usually when you're a secretary, you work with one company at a time and their procedures and their way of doing things. And I thought, that is really neat. So when I got time to me thinking about, okay, well, if I was to have my own company, what would I do? I remembered that experience, and I thought I really wanted a place where I could work with a lot of different companies and help them. because I've gained a lot of experience and knowledge over the years, and I've seen how to do things. And sometimes I can give ideas that might help somebody get over a hurdle or just get a roadblock out of the way.
Right.
So that's my why. I really just wanted to be able to help as many people as I can. And selfishly, it gives me a chance to get to talk to really cool people all the time.
Right. So you not only had your own business, but you were already looking forward to helping other people to establish their businesses too. And they always say, like, you really win. It's a win-win situation. You're helping someone else helps you to win also at the same time. It's not that you're going just for that when you do that, but it also comes from the heart, something that you genuinely want to do for someone else, because you already know and believe that your blessing is coming anyway. So just helping someone else is just like icing on the cake to me. That's the way I think about it. So tell us a little bit more about the company now. Let's break it down. Let's get in here and get the meat and the potatoes, the bones, whatever, about the company. What about the memberships and the offices and things like that you want people to know about your business?
Well, the great thing about my office and more, we have a 110-year-old building right on the corner of Maine and Tennessee in downtown Lakeland. So we're in the heart of Lakeland.
The heart of downtown, yes.
That's right. So the serendipitous moments happen just by walking along on the street, going to lunch someplace. And there are lots of great places to eat here.
Yes.
We're a place where you can meet or you can work or you can do both, whether you're a member or not. So anybody can rent a conference room. We have smaller conference rooms that seat up to 10 people, and that's $25 an hour. And we have a large meeting room on the first floor that can hold up to 48 people with lots of masks these days, and that is $50 an hour. We keep it so that it is priced so that anybody can use the space without having to kill their budget. But it's more than that. It's a place where you can get a desk to work. Not everybody needs an office that has walls and a door.
Right.
So you can get an office with walls and a door, or you can just work at a desk and be part of the community. And then we have admins that provide additional support services if somebody gets stuck trying to figure out how to make copies or get other tasks done.
Okay, wow, that's wonderful. So if you're thinking of having your own office, if you're thinking of having your own desk, or coming in, even if it's a temporary situation, a business meeting or an event or something like that, this is definitely a place you want to consider. It's in downtown Lakeland, beautiful place to be, shops all around, and this is a wonderful place. 2 levels. There's a bigger room down on the main level, which I was in. So I knew that this had to be something special. When I saw that particular office or building or room, I'll say room down there. But what type of events do you have here? Or is there just a different or a main kind of event that you actually have here?
Well, there are industries that find us particularly helpful. The legal industry often has independent court stenographers, attorneys that travel, and they need or sometimes even if they have an office locally, but they need a neutral place to hold a meeting between parties, then we're a great place for that. And we get a lot of legal types of meetings, but we get all types. We have nonprofits that hold board meetings. We have churches that come in. We'll have off-site meetings here. I never know what somebody's going to be teaching. Tomorrow, we're going to have somebody teaching about concealed weapon training.
Oh my!
So
okay.
I had a gentleman that came and wanted to throw his own surprise birthday party for when he turned 60.
Let me write that down. I think I'm going to do that for myself. Your own surprise birthday party? So he just popped in and said, hey, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, thank you so much.
We had signage all over the place that said, shh, don't tell him it's his birthday party.
You had all the right food, all the right music, all the right colors, everything. There's nothing that went wrong with that party. And I am absolutely sure, right? If there was something that went wrong, who are you going to have to talk to? Yourself, right? We'll get it right next year. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, this is a place you can actually have various types of events, and that concealed weapons class, I took a concealed weapons class just a couple of weeks ago, and when she told me, I was just laughing to myself because I'm like, yeah, that's a very important thing today. The way things are, some people may feel that they need to get a little bit more security for themselves or for their family and/or business. So as you see, it's a plethora of things that you can actually do here at this facility. So you definitely want to make sure you check it out and get your spot temporarily, monthly. Did we tell them a little bit about the memberships?
Yeah, well, thank you. There's different ways to be a member. The low end is for somebody that just needs a place to establish their business. They might come here and work a couple of times a month. They can do that up to 4 times a month, get a virtual office membership. And now they have a Main Street mailing address for their business, and that gives them credibility.
Oh, yeah.
Their name goes on the sign in our lobby. So if somebody stops by and wants to check them out and they're not here, we can take a message because we've got people here at the front desk Monday through Friday to do just that for them.
Wow.
So whether it is, we do have 3-month, 6-month, and 12-month memberships for anybody who works at desks. The offices are 6 and 12-month memberships. To give as much flexibility as possible. It's pretty hard to find less than a 12-month lease for offices anywhere, and ours are fully furnished. You sign the contract, get your security deposit, membership fee paid. You're given keys and you can immediately start working that day.
And I've seen the location. I've seen all the different rooms here in her business, and I really enjoyed it. It's very, very nice. And I think you'll love it. I think you'll love it. The colors, the vibrance, and everything. So let's take a moment and go and check out some of the office.
Meet you then. So I'm bringing this experience to the small business owner. Somebody who works out of their home can now have a virtual office. We have various kinds of conference rooms. We have one that is as small as seating 5 people. The table is at counter height, so you can either sit or stand in the room and it doesn't disrupt it. You get a synergy of collaboration in that room. We have the park room, which overlooks Munn Park, has a wonderful upbeat feel to it. So even if you have a very difficult kind of meeting, it will go better because the right atmosphere is set. And we have a large meeting room on the first floor that will accommodate up to 49 people. We make that possible that anybody can use it. It doesn't have to be somebody who's a member. Anybody in the community can rent that room for $50 an hour.
So we are back and getting ready to wrap things up with our first guest on Brick and Mortar, the mainstream edition. I thank you guys so much for coming out here and spending this time with us. This is our first show, and we were here in downtown Lakeland, Polk County, with my office and more with Miss Kate Lake. She's given us a lot of information about her business, and I tell you, I encourage you, if you have a business of your own and you just need a space to come down to, whether it's aside from the business that you own, you have desks, you have nook and crannies, pretty much to get away from the crowds, so you can focus on what you need to do to make things happen for your business, for your meeting. There's conference rooms as well. I encourage you all to definitely check out my office and more with Miss Kate Lake. Miss Kate, definitely wanted you to give the people some information on how they can contact you or check out your business so that they can come and be a member.
2 easy ways to do that. Right on the internet, we are at my office and you have to spell it out, andmore.com. And you can get all sorts of information there. But everybody's challenges are different and your needs are different. So give us a call at 863-333-5120, and we'll be glad to help you.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Miss Kate. Thank you so much for watching. Definitely look for us on the next go around. We have a lot of businesses to cover. So if you are interested in being a small business on the show, you can definitely send us an email. There should be some information here on the screen for you, but it should be brickandmortarmainstream@gmail.com. And there'll also be another version for you. Brick and Mortar urban@gmail.com. I'm Stephanie D. Sanders, and thank you so much for joining me. Bye.